Hey everybody, welcome back to Samsung FRP.pro, and you can reach me at http Samsung FRP.square.site or https Samsung FRP.pro. Now what we're looking at is torrenting speed of 80 megabytes per second, and it's been up at 90 and 100 megabytes a second. Now normally I go with NordVPN and I use OpenVPN, and lately I've only been getting about 5 megabytes a second for my torrent downloads. And as you can see, the torrents here are just going nuts. Like, they're completing one after another. I just cleared about 50 cleared torrents. And the reason why it's doing this is because I'm not using OpenVPN any longer, and I've switched to the new Wireguard Protocol. And it took me a long time of hunting to finally find a VPN provider that would provide config files for WireGuard. And I found it. And the name is PrivateVPN. Now you'll normally hear PIA, or private internet access, described as the more suitable choice for Unraid. But looking at Space Invader 1's tests for his speed test, PrivateVPN is actually much faster than private internet access by about 100 megabytes a second. My speed tests on here were roughly 360 megabytes per second on a 1.5 gig connection. On NordVPN, I was only getting around 200 to 250 megabytes per second on the torrents, or on the speed test, but I found that the torrents were throttled. Nord was throttling my torrenting down to 5 megabytes a second, even on a speed test of 250 megabytes a second. But PrivateVPN doesn't throttle. As you can see, I'm getting 86.6 megabytes a second, 87.4, 81.6, 85.1. If I switch back to OpenVPN on Nord, I'll only be getting about maybe 5 to 15 megabytes a second. So how you create your WireGuard config file, you're in PrivateVPN. Once you subscribe, and right now they have a deal where it's $72 USD for 3 years, you just click on Control Panel at the top. And you scroll down here on the left-hand side to WireGuard Config, and you select your server. And I'm using, well, I'm not going to tell you which one I'm using, but I'm using one of the ones in Canada. But I had to experiment with a few of them and do speed tests to see which one was the fastest one for me. It's the server closest to you. And then once you get this WireGuard config file, you just drop it into your app data folder. I use Cubic Torrent VPN. I have one for OpenVPN and one for WireGuard. You just drop it in here, and it doesn't need any credentials or anything. That's what it looks like. And I'll just do a quick speed test, and don't forget it is downloading at 80 to 90 megabytes per second. So you go into your console and you type in pacman space hyphen capital S space speed test hyphen CLI, and that will install the speed test. Proceed with installation. and then you type in speed test -CLI to conduct the speed test. So it may not score very good on here right now because I'm downloading so much. But yeah, 74.2 megabytes a second. But if I wasn't downloading any torrents, if I stopped them all, it's around 360. My upload is still pretty good, and upload is around 200, 250. Anyways, that's how you check your speed. But yeah, I recommend PrivateVPN over any of the other ones because Proton is too expensive. They're $100 or 100 euros for 1 year. Yeah, Private is the cheapest. It's $2 a month. And you get 10 users. Anyways, that's all for now. You guys know what to do. Okay. Goodbye.